of Andrew Johnson. After seeing the fall at the first heat of the first round at Calder, nobody would have anticipated him coming back with this charge that he has. And of course he's matching it bike for bike, length for length, with his teammate Mal Campbell, and there's no doubt about it, there's nothing lost as far as determination and aggression is concerned between the two team riders. That makes it a very interesting fact, of course. Can Honda quell the enthusiasm of their two riders to get as many points as possible in the series? Let's go now to the second heat and look for perhaps a better performance from McElnay. But once again, Robbie Phyllis has shown us what an exciting rider he is on the superbike here at Oran Park.
The series leader at this stage on bike number 3. Last bike into position.
Here we go.
And Campbell again starts to move pretty quickly. You can see him there on the outside of screen. He is in the leading 4 at this stage. There he is with Stu Avant. Rob Phyllis leads. And Johnson's back and forth. Campbell even heads. Johnson, who was in front of him on the grid. Big Grant there on G. So it's Campbell thrusting now for second place. A brilliant start. Avant is third, Johnson fourth, Dowson fifth, McElnay and Grant fifth and sixth and seventh, and then it's Middlemas eighth.
Rob Phyllis uses the power of the Suzuki superbike and the soft suspension over the Oran Park bumps to take the lead.
Has no right to be in the lead in a superbike in front of a Formula One bike and in front of Grand Prix bikes. But the smooth riding, determined little boy from Albury, 27 years old, doing a grand job. We did say yesterday, or I said yesterday, I thought he'd fallen off in practice. If he hadn't, he'd stopped to help Rod Cox.
Johnson in third position, then Michael Dowson, Stu Avant.
Rob McElnay just behind Avant there. McElnay knows he's got to make an early move because Campbell's taken the lead. Campbell past Phyllis, the superior power of the Honda, top speed taking him past into the lead.
1.65 seconds from the leading pair, back to third place now, Johnson. Fourth place, Dowson going brilliantly, Stewie Avant, Rob McElnay, Mick Grant and Glenn Middlemas. And the leading pair. New lap record for Andrew Johnson in the previous race, 15.5. Rob Phyllis's best time on a superbike. He holds the lap record, a 16.9. That surely must at least be the difference between a superbike and a Formula One or a Grand Prix bike.
Phyllis absolutely riding the wheels off the Hone Suzuki there, keeping touch with Campbell in front.
And there's the point score, 3 races down, 3 to go. We're on the 4th at the moment. Mal Campbell has the slender 2-point lead over Rob McElnay. Andrew Johnson in third position needs a win here in this second round to get himself right up into points contention. And the ever reliable Mick Grant is in fourth.
Johnson and Dowson catching, with Avant still holding off McElnay.
Johnson 3, Dowson 4. Rob McElnay really hasn't sorted Oran Park out nearly as well as he sorted out the very simple Calder circuit. And perhaps it all started, Peter, from his bad opening foray here when he came here on his own. There he is back there in 6th place, and started practicing for the first half hour in the wrong direction because nobody told him which way the circuit went. And most circuits run in the opposite direction to this one.
Yes, of course, virtually every European circuit is clockwise, and this one runs anti-clockwise. That threw our English lads for the start.
Bond, McElnay 5th and 6th.
Yes, identical machines here. Stu Avant, the New Zealander, Rob McElnay, the Lancashire lab, and Johnson's AJ's through into second place.
And Phyllis is back again.
And we saw Johnson rip off a tear-off visor there. the little strip of plastic that goes over the visor to protect it from flies, and he just pulled it away.
Phyllis really doing a marvellous job. Emphasise again that he is using a road-framed Suzuki, or a frame from a road-going Suzuki. Every other machine around him has a purpose-built race frame, lighter, more rigid probably than the Suzuki frame.
And Phyllis now making superb use of the 16-inch front wheel that they've put on the Hone Suzuki for this series for the first time. Very wide tyre, allowing him to go very deep into the corners on the brakes.
Here comes Johnson now. He'll try for it in the braking area. He's close enough. But look at Phyllis use up that heavier Suzuki under brakes.
1.64 seconds, the gap.
And there goes Johnson.
Now second place Johnson back to the leader. Malcolm Campbell, and look at the bike walk around under brakes. And Phyllis and Dowson hounding him from third and fourth place. Wonderful riding and racing.
And all three of them now closing in on Campbell, who's still leading on the 920 water-cooled V4 four-stroke.
And if Campbell can finish anywhere up in this leading group, and McElnay is back where he is, well then Campbell's starting to look good for the series. He would have only a slender lead on McElnay, but going to Surfers Paradise, the final round next weekend, which is adjudged to be a four-stroke circuit, not a Grand Prix two-stroke circuit. This is the circuit that supposedly doesn't suit Campbell or Phyllis's bike.
A fantastic mixture of machinery. We've got a water-cooled four-cylinder V4 four-stroke in front, a water-cooled three-cylinder two-stroke behind. Then we've got an air-cooled across the frame four-stroke four, and a four-cylinder disc valve two-stroke behind.
And isn't Dowson doing a wonderful job on the Henderson Suzuki in fourth position?
With only 2 seconds covering the first four bikes.
As Dowson now comes up to challenge Phyllis.
Dowson, I was wondering if he knew what he was doing, but he did.
But with Phyllis with him.
And look at Johnson on Campbell, got him. Campbell won't find the way through him there as they punch up to the slowest corner of the circuit. So. Oh! And Johnson only just still on the machine, as he was in this section of circuit in the previous heat. Campbell had exactly the same view of too much throttle too early, the bike going sideways, and Dowson now third. A great performance from the West Australian.
Johnson suffering there from the fact that getting the power of the two-stroke on early in the corner can cause the back wheel to slide violently. But just looking closely there, it looks as though AJ's earlier big slide was of such violence that it broke the screen. Either that or he did it on the when he fell off on the warm-up lap, but he seems to have a smashed screen in front of him. Perhaps it was the bit of screen, in fact, that he pulled off, rather than the visor earlier on.
9 laps down, 3 remaining.
Yes, certainly a jagged piece of screen there sticking up the front of number 7. Yes, it would have been a piece of the broken screen that he threw away early on in the race when we saw his hand go up.
When Phyllis successfully held him up for third place. This is the bike that came about, the two-stroke Honda, that came about when Honda failed with their four-stroke development, which was in the hands of a number of people, among them Mick Grant. And a very revolutionary bike with twin conrods per piston. The pistons were oval-shaped rather than round. And the thing overall was a bit of a disaster. And they developed this two-stroke, and it went on to World Championship this year in the hands of the 21-year-old American Freddie Spencer.
Five seconds back to Michael Dowson in third position.
Campbell just managing to inch closer there and getting back on Johnson's tail.
Glenn Middlemas moves up to pass Stu Avant and take over 6th position behind Rob McElnay.
It's a great effort by Middlemas. By gee, this pair's doing a good job too. Campbell, look, just only losing fractions of a tenth of a second per corner, but just an elusive increase in distance between himself and Johnson.
Both these two men showing the style that I would love to see them bring to Europe.
We'll consider this is only Malcolm Campbell's second weekend on that Formula One Honda.
Yeah, a truly remarkable performance. And he's riding a bike that was built originally for endurance racing, in that it was used in the south of France this year to win the Bol d'Or 24-hour race.
On the last lap now. Less than 2.6 kilometres remaining. They've had the blue flag.
And Malcolm Campbell getting serious. Look at him here, big wider entry to this corner. Wants to punch out hard with a big V4 four-stroke.
He said he might be able to pass Johnson going up the hill. That was one of his fastest sections.
His only chance, really, against a man of Johnson's calibre is under brakes down at BP Bend.
And Johnson has been given a new lap record, 1 minute 15.4 seconds. Half a lap now remaining. These two Honda riders pushing each other to the absolute limits.
And watch for a good run through here for Campbell. He wants to arrive towards BP faster than Johnson, and Johnson knew it. And he was going down there quickly. Campbell actually did it, but Johnson had built up just a little bit of a buffer and should go to the line, the victor, in the second heat for today to win the Swann Series Round 2 at Oran Park. And he is jubilant on the 500 Honda. From Michael Dowson third, Malcolm Campbell, of course, Johnson's teammate, was second. Rob Phyllis.
Rob Phyllis just holding off Rob McElnay there for fourth.
Glenn Middlemas, Stu Avant, Craig By and Mick Grant.
After 4 races in the Swann Insurance Motorcycle Series for 1983, Malcolm Campbell, with 2 second places today, leads the championship on 51 points from Rob McElnay on 43. Andrew Johnson now charging up through the field on 38 points, ahead of Mick Grant. Rob Phyllis tied on 22. Stu Avant consistent on 21. Then Dowson coming into points contention after failing to finish in both rounds at Calder on 16. Glenn Middlemas and David Snape, the 2 local privateers, tied on 11.
Well, from Oran Park, we join you now